Drawing airplanes is a pretty easy thing. And the reason it's easy is because airplanes are very well defined, especially historical airplanes, because they fit into a certain space. You know, they got a length, a width, a height, and they got a curve that either happened or it didn't, or a marking was a certain color, or a rivet was there or it wasn't. They're really black and white deals. But when you take adding in the element of recording history, that's where things get hard, because history isn't black and white. History is gray, and gray has all these perspectives. You got one person who says this and one person who says that. Different cultures and different mindsets all come together. It's very difficult to record history. And this one started out as the story of an airplane, and the story of an airplane in the Vietnam War, and the story of a man who was shot down and became a POW. But as we got into the story, it soon became more the story about all the POWs of the Vietnam War. And then as the story was developing, it became something else. I'd like to introduce this episode of Old Guys in the Airplanes. Charlie Plumb, Navy fighter pilot, Naval Academy graduate, POW from 1967 to 1973. And in 2015, he went back.
I was shot down very near Hanoi. I was shot down, our target was a truck park, Benzium truck park, and it was very close to the city. I mean, the bad news was, at the time, they told us it was the most heavily defended city in the world. They had more anti-aircraft artillery and more missiles, SAM, surface-to-air missiles, around that city of Hanoi than any place in the world. And so we were flying into a real hornet's nest. But if you were shot down near the hornet's nest, you were also close to a formalized prison camp, and you didn't get drugged to the jungle for 2 months. So, I was one of the lucky ones. But the first 300 or 400 guys that were shot down, all broke. We all gave more than name, rank, serial number, date of birth, the code of conduct. That was our code of conduct. We were not obligated to give any more than that because of the Geneva Convention. Well, we all went farther than that, and we all, to a man, felt very guilty. Some guys even considered suicide because they felt they would never be accepted again in our culture, because they had besmirched the flag, that they had turned against America. Here's where my mind went when I was being tortured. This hurts. This hurts a lot. But I'm alive, and if it doesn't get any worse than this, I'm going to survive this. And then they tightened the ropes, okay? And they pulled my shoulders out of joint. And so the pain went up. And I said, whoa, this hurts even more. But I'm still alive. And if it doesn't get any worse than this, I can survive this. And then they tightened the ropes a little more. And they hung me from a hook in the ceiling. And pain went up. And I'm still thinking, I'm still alive. If it doesn't get any worse than this. So I established these plateaus of pain, okay? But I never ever thought I was going to die. I never ever thought that I was going to perish there. And one of the reasons, maybe this is back to my engineering mind, okay, was that I felt that if I ever thought I was going to die, it was going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. That to ever accept the fact that that was a probability or even a possibility in my life was going to mean that I was going to accept the fact that I didn't have the strength to survive. I am convinced that adversity is a horrible thing to waste. And there's one that took me there.
Yeah, that's the one that got you in trouble.